won't.
Could be your end.
Slipping.
No choice.
Welcome. Yes. Our bishop relayed the message that your actions, along with your cohorts, had halted the advance of a powerful deitic entity from invading. For such a rare event as this to occur, should call for an even rarer opportunity to award a knighthood. Although your shoulders have already carried the burden of an entire town, I am sure they can carry the unparalleled importance of being a knight. Thousands of men would murder for a chance of knighthood without having to endure decades in my guard. Do not take this reward for granted. Any acts you commit from here on will be a reflection of my judgment, and so any ill deeds you commit will stain the kingdom of Evermore. Further, any good you bring will help the reputation of Evermore throughout High Rock and beyond. The peasantry will be forced to respect you. The nobility will accept you as an equal. With time, after having ingratiated yourself within our established class, you may help steer this kingdom with me. If you recite the Knight's Sacred Oath, are you ready to speak the words that only the most valorous have uttered? Very well. I shall start. Revere the Nine and maintain their temples. Serve the King in valor and faith. To protect the weak and defenseless. To give succor to widows and orphans. To obey those placed in authority. To guard the honor of fellow knights. Never to refuse a challenge from an equal. Never to turn the back upon a foe. To eschew barbarity, malevolence, deceit and disorder, and of all, to keep faith. You have completed your oath. Hear me all those under my protection. Hear me all kind gods. This person shall forever be a knight of Evermore. Now bask in your newfound fame. Attend to the duties of this land. Help the despaired and sullen souls, for we have many. One more important gift that we bestow onto our knights, their new apparel, so you can be seen to carry the griffin wherever you go. What have you? I took you for a dexterous sort. A deft approach to any engagement is best for those keen on preserving their lives. Have all who come to see you know who you represent. You should see our bishop or have a talk with Forrester. I am sure they have tasks you can attend to. A tragic figure. I enjoyed having him as my vanguard in the Reach, despite his vicious temperament. Careful knight, you are talking about a lord here. Such words would have you hung where one were any lower in rank. Mortarfane was no different from those who preceded him in that land, although his application of power may have been a tad more extreme. If only he didn't interfere with the merchants and let them on their merry way to the city, he would still be alive. Such a shame. Cease with the melodrama, lest you incense me. You've only just become a knight. Would be a waste to have that title revoked so soon. Those merchants have brought inordinate wealth to this kingdom, raising the prominence of the East so that it may compare to that of Daggerfall even. No longer the uncivilized hinterland. We are prosperous and proud now, and we will stay that way. Besides, the people of Raven Spring have grown strong, full of conviction, even after all they have gone through. Our greatest soldiers are pulled directly from the Reach, if you haven't noticed. We need them as much as they need us. She was someone who was undeservedly burdened with what she governed, but had took it in her stride. It was a shame she couldn't overcome her antipathy with Mortarfane. Oh, I remember the days she was within these very walls, where my father mentored her to become the leader she was destined to be. Fortunately, I've inherited my father's love for the young, and the want to nurture them for a prospective future. A transient council has been assembled to assure order there. You may have met them. Phoenix, Entemon, and Herika. We are making deliberations on Morose's replacement. No people should be without a shepherd for long. Fret not. I'd have chastised you were your words an assumption of her fate, rather than her whereabouts. She had departed the kingdom to visit family in Daggerfall some 4 months ago, with my daughter, though hopefully not to find a suitor for her. No, I will be the one who decides the date for when she is wed. Not her mother, whose conniptions will most certainly have her settled with some undeserving yokel. Why, of course, maybe my most important progeny, Damien. My prodigal son has sought renown and glory in the West. I could not be any more proud to have him continue the dynasty. After my passing, I am assured that his reign will continue to steer this kingdom to new heights. I've received a cloak carrying the message of his imminent return. You certainly will.
And we've seen the Orcs procuring more weapons from an unknown supplier. They simply wouldn't be this powerful without some external help.
And who do you suspect this elusive group is? Any hard leads rather than theory?
Forgive me, but it's simple logic which dictates that such a ragtag militia of Orcs can't resupply and arm themselves this fast without help. Every time they sustain massive losses, they seemingly come back with a force sporting even more numbers than before.
Oh, these damn Orcs. Ahem. Beg my pardon. I shouldn't air my grievances for all to hear. Well, keep to your investigation. And whatever details you find, make sure to voice them with Forrester, as I have my own matters to deal with currently.
I will, and thank you for hearing me. I'll have my leave and return to this case. Hopefully I can find someone else to help as well. Carry the Griffin, Knight of Evermore.
Jackos, huh? Haven't spoken to that wily dog in a while. Oh, that's right. Must have been among the letters. Thanks for reminding me of my mounting paperwork. Yet if what you say is true, and those Red Guards are gone, then we can commence Stage 2. And that's ridding them for good. Got what seems to be scouting posts up the river, serving to guide whatever Red ship comes sailing our way. We would have dealt with them already if it wasn't for the hazards such confines bring. Any skirmish could quickly flip to slaughter in a heartbeat. You've got a mind for strategy. Since our scouts are hawking other targets, you may need to undergo this one alone. I can see that. Well, since you're so eager, these are the 3 last known locations of those posts. Burn whatever equipment that may exist there, and pacify any hostile threat in any way you see fit. You can always bring another, but you gotta know when company becomes a crowd. Right, give us your map. I'll link the 3 areas where those posts were last seen. It may be that the posts remain, but the people attending them do move, a lot. So, expect small resistance. Shouldn't be much trouble for one of your craft. To reiterate, burn all the gear you find. Make sure the Reds can set up camp anytime soon. Understand? Great. Maybe now these river rats will get the message. Good luck to you. I'll make sure the reward is waiting on the table when you return. I'm sure you know of the kingdom and its subjects by now. Sigmane has dispensed funding for a number of renovations throughout the realm. So there's much to do around the realm, with a lot of busy people eager to relieve themselves of any extra duties. And that's where you come in.
Don't cause any trouble now.
You look a bit peaked. You sure you shouldn't be home in bed?
I'm warning you. Back off.
That's close enough.
Bandits are cowards.
Doing your part for the Empire? Funny you should say that, though I wish the sentiment behind my plea shared that levity. Do you remember the woman we rescued here? The one forced upon by the orcs? Sometimes the invocation of the unpleasant is the best way to force engagement with a topic. Yet the one before me isn't so squeamish, if your feats across this land are any indication. Well, the woman, Denise, has vanished, leaving little trace for where she went. She was being tended to by the field nurse, but must have slipped out during the night. My first suspicion is that of her unborn child. She repressed the trauma from her capture, but I could see the despair simmering beneath her strained smile. The nurse told me of Denise's fascination with this local myth, a witch who was known to perform dark rituals and the like. So my fear is that Denise has fled into the wilds in search of that witch, probably in an attempt to deprive herself of that child. Such actions betray a shattered mind. The Imperials are supposed to protect, govern their subjects, and see them suffer no harm as long as they obeyed. Yet our stay here has put that pledge to the fire. If we can have one small victory, to do one thing right, it would be this. I wish I could send my own, but we've scant bodies to spare. Good luck, for what it's worth, and bring her back alive. I'm an Imperial. Do you really need to ask if I've kept up with my end of bureaucracy? Here you go, with the caveat of added paperwork being sent over in the coming days, so we may be seeing more of each other. Having spent many days with nary a peep in the Reach, I've divulged in some research to best prepare against the more dangerous folk in this realm. Of prominence are the witches, who are known to steer the witchmen to greater ends, creating archaic military structures which see themselves as lieutenants, with their hag-raven superiors becoming something akin to generals, whether through birthright or practical utility. Given such responsibility, these witches are commonly trained in arts that can command authority. Mostly, these are the offensive magics they employ. which mostly take the form of the ice sorcery you may have seen, to other more sinister invocations that smack of ancient arts. Her name is Zenalata, supposedly. She seldom travels from her lair and is known to make trespassers vanish if they stray too close. However, some are granted the privilege of her presence. For whatever reason, we're not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if such fortunate agents are being weaved into a grander plot by the witch. If there's ever a person you shouldn't trust, it's a witch. Just be careful within her domain. Don't make the mistake of so many others in underestimating her. Enticing words and promises of power have many fall to her schemes. We don't want to see your shriveled head added to her savage gallery. Serve the Empire.
Hello? Carry the griffin proudly, knight.
Such colors! All right then.
What's that? Rear your ugly head at last. I'll bash your brains out. Don't mug me off. Huh. I'll hang you from your entrails.
Lets himself get around after making no choice.
Who are you, Oakling? Nothing that affects us, but being the curious type I am, we've got word from the exile that something of value is stowed away within the caverns. And fortunately for me, you seek Septim, which isn't surprising. So are you ready to see what those degenerates have been talking about so much? Remember, I won't be coming to scrape your corpse out of those tunnels if you don't come back. Be on your way. Yeah.
Honest gold for honest work, if you're ever interested.
Alright, don't hang around. Alright?